One of the big controversies today has to do with vaccinations. Should we vaccinate our children, or should we avoid vaccinations altogether? I'm joined today by Dr. Francisco Delgado, who is a physician that specializes in the treatment of infectious diseases and who also is a Christian, to help unpack these very important questions. First of all, Paco, as a physician that treats infectious diseases, what is your view on vaccinations? Are these safe? Are these things that we should subject our children to, or should we avoid vaccinations altogether?
Yes. Probably it would be important to consider a world without vaccination. So you just need to go back in time to see the scourge, how horrible these infections affected the population. What were the consequences of unvaccinated people, and how many deaths we had from all that. We have had the vaccines, and really we have lost contact with that world, with that past. So I do see the big benefit that vaccination does for people, but not only for the people that get vaccinated, but also for the people that are around. How does this work? Well, if you get vaccinated, you will have some protection. If you don't get vaccinated, that lack of protection may actually make you susceptible to an infectious agent, and in turn, you can pass it on to someone else who is more vulnerable. Let's say that there is someone who cannot receive a vaccine for X, Y, or Z reason. If this person gets infected with that infectious agent, and he passes this on to this vulnerable person may die. And that can be prevented just by doing the vaccination up front.
Is that called herd immunity? Is that the technical term?
That is correct.
Yeah. So then, if we're thinking about vaccinations from the standpoint of the Christian worldview, how then does that influence decision-making about whether or not we should vaccinate our children?
The way that I see it is really more for the love of someone else. We do not know how many people we may encounter that are vulnerable to infectious agents. We ourselves may say, oh, well, it's just a virus, I'll get over it, no problem. But then if during the episode when we are infectious, we pass it on to other people, we really are not taking care of our neighbors the way we should. Mm-hmm. I think that we have these powerful tools to improve human health, and the lack of use may actually be a way in which we are showing not love for someone else.
Now, how does the whole idea of vaccinations being dangerous even emerge? What is, in your estimation, is responsible for this mindset that vaccinations are dangerous?
I think there is a lot of misinformation. I think that there have been a lot of speculations, and probably those speculations have just been running around in what we would call an echo box. So people may have the perception that these are really, really bad. It is true that any drug, any chemical can have side effects, but we know that the side effects of these vaccinations are not what we see them as reported in the public at large.
So can vaccinations cause autism? I mean, this is a common claim.
Yes, and there really is no evidence that links vaccines with autism.